Hello, everybody, and welcome to Weird May Let's Play.
What?
This is weird. Honestly, it feels weird being back on a live stream after doing recorded videos for so long. It's like, do we have a different introduction, or do I have to be focusing on different things? It feels weird. It feels different because we've been doing so many recordings.
Bowser boys and bitches!
Bowser boys for life!
Let's go.
Yes. So today we're on our streams, so we're just going to be doing one-shots or as short series as possible. So we have it says a unique horror adventure.
By Benjamin Rivers, no less.
Benjamin Rivers.
Our good friend, Benjamin Rivers.
Of Home fame. Yeah, he did that video game Home. But I've played this one, so Melissa's going to be playing today.
Yeah, sure.
And I think this is a game where we could probably get it done completely in an hour and a half.
Okay then, well let's see.
So yeah, let's go.
Let's go. Sorry, this is Weird May. I am regular Melissa.
Oh yeah,
this is our stream. This is our game that we're playing.
That's the other thing that I forgot because I'm not used to streaming anymore. I'm used to just going, welcome back to Weird May Let's Play. Anyway, let's get back into it.
Yeah. Right, so you're going to go off and then, I don't know, do whatever you do. All I remembered at that point was finding myself alone. Oh, my head. Where was I? It was so dark. There was something by my feet. A flashlight. Interesting. A door!
Ooh.
That house. Where was I? There was a body lying on the floor. Who was it? Well, I didn't recognize his face. He was still kind of warm.
Oh. Oh no, cat.
I noticed that I limped as I moved down the stairs. How did I hurt my leg, I wondered. All I could really recall was coming home, seeing Rachel. I was upset. She looked afraid. I shook my head and tried to clear it. I knew I should head downstairs, try to find a way out.
Babe, you gotta find a way out.
A thin grey mouse was stuck in a trap. It looked frantic but exhausted. Did I free it? Yeah, of course I did. I'm not a monster.
Oh, into the hole.
A collection of rusty tools. These looked like they'd seen a lot of use and were caked in damp-smelling dirt. Why weren't they in a shed?
Maybe this is the shed? This room is just...
I found a picture of a couple. It looked like it had been moved a lot. There seemed to be a switch behind it. Did I push the switch? Yes, of course I did.
You always push the switch.
It depressed smoothly into the wall. I heard a faraway click somewhere.
Far away, okay. So maybe like the other side of the house or something. I don't have a great memory of this game.
You don't have a great memory of anything.
That's true. I'm sure my name is like Steve or something.
The shelf was full of books on local history and hunting. Seemed like the owner of the house really knew the area. I thought this was my house.
Who said it's your house? Oh god. The fuck was
An
that?
old dining table covered in dirty dishes for 2 people. There were dozens of beer cans and other liquor bottles among the dishes. The smell was turning my stomach. A black and white photo looked like the man upstairs and his wife, I guessed. There was no reason for me to keep this. Did I take it? Yes, I am a hoarder. I slipped the photo into my pocket. Maybe this would help me find some answers. That's not why I pocketed it. I just wanted it.
It's basically just kleptomaniac.
Yeah. That's how I do. That's just how I do. How I do.
How I do. Oh, a mirror.
I looked like hell. My clothes were dirty and torn, and there was mud caked all over my shoes.
Is there a bathroom in here that you can wash up or something?
The front door was blocked by a pile of furniture. I knew I had to find another way out. I could just climb over the furniture, but of course, this is a video game. Humans can't do that. The bathroom was spotless. Everything had been wiped to a sheen. I wonder if it was the man's wife who did the cleaning, or him. There was a photo development tray lying on the floor. Some leftover negatives were sticking out, but they were pretty blurry. I thought I saw what looked like treetops. Well, apparently...
Oh, in the photo. He was like, when I put the photo down, I thought I saw treetops in the bathroom.
Okay, I can't clean up in the bathroom, my love.
No. Never mind.
Bang. The door was taped up and seemed to be stuck. By the smell, I guessed it led to the kitchen. Did it smell bad or good? The switch in the wall appeared to have unlocked the door.
Ah, excellent.
Cool. The box looked heavy, but there were marks on the floor. It had obviously been moved before. Maybe I had found a way out. I must have moved it right. Yes. I heaved the books forward, and it finally gave. A ladder? There was a ladder going underground where the box was. A dank smell rose from the passage. Did I climb down the ladder? Yes, of course I did.
Of course you climbed down the ladder.
Because it seems like a terrible idea. I looked again at the photo I found in the house. The couple looked distant, like they didn't want to be in the same picture. I wondered where the wife was. My leg was in terrible shape, but I had to get out. Footprints in the dirt looked like more than one kind, and a lot of traffic. Places all over were marked on the old map of town, the industrial area near the river, various houses, and even the water tower near the old rail station. Newspaper clippings from the local paper. They were all about murders in town over the last few years. Wait!
Okay.
There were photos. Photos of our house?
Is it your house then?
I don't know. What the hell was that about? Maybe I should have looked around more, tried to find some kind of information.
Maybe it's like an apartment block or something.
A work table covered in papers, dirt, and a handgun. I hated guns. I didn't take it, did I? Yes! I tucked the small handgun into my pocket. Its weight was somehow reassuring. I'm a Brit. I don't think that guns are reassuring.
No.
It was so dark down there, and the air smelled stale and putrid. I couldn't believe what I saw. What was this place?
What did you saw?
A desk.
Oh, a desk.
The desk looked old and was caked with... What is this?
Who puts a desk in a cave?
And was caked with grime. On it was a stack of old faded paper covered with what looked like names. They were scratched out and illegible notes were written beside them in faded blue ink. I could only make out a few letters. He, Eve, E, Heul, R, Af, Ol, R. None of it made any sense to me.
It made sense to me.
It made perfect sense to me.
It only made sense to me because I know you now.
There looked to be bones half dug into the ground, and the remains looked old. The faded clothes that stuck up amongst the dirt looked familiar. They looked like the clothes that woman was wearing in the photo I made.
Wow, well
Fucking
done,
hell. You know what was happening was I was saying the ma and wife at the same time as the word found.
Wow.
Was this the man's wife? Maybe. Who knows? I sure don't. Let's keep going.
This is where the mole man lives and does his work.
Some kind of homemade rack slung together with poorly cut wooden rope. It was caked with old blood. Somebody didn't actually use that, did they? Crudely made shelves. They looked like they were holding cans of some kind of corrosive. The labels were worn and slick, but I could still see the warnings. It looked like a cage. It was small, but there was something coating the bottom. Something wet. Gross. Some kind of old boxes. They looked like they were years old. Wait a minute, these boxes had old clothes in them. Clothes I remembered throwing out after Rachel and I moved to town. What the hell were they doing there?
Somebody stole your clothes.
There wasn't anyone there. Was I hearing things? I don't know, I guess we'll find out.
Oh, is that bats?
Is somebody firing lasers in here?
Pew,
pew,
yes,
pew,
just
pew, pew.
very soft lasers. Pew, 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 pew.
I remember noticing the broken ladder. I had to be careful. I don't remember if I jumped down there or found another way. It looked to be a long way. Did I jump down? Babe, did I jump down?
Yeah, fuck it.
Fuck it!
Of course you did. Oh, as you fell, confetti fell with you as well.
Oh man, my leg hurt. I was limping even worse than before. I could hear some sort of faint humming noise up ahead.
It was the
lasers?
Gregorian choir.
Gregorian choir. A bunch of old newspapers, wheat pasted together. A message had been hastily smeared on it. Keep out. Danger due to cave-in. Okay. I'm sure it's fine.
I say we go in. Oh, that's the humming up ahead.
The gun was heavy and uncomfortable in my pocket and didn't help ease the constant dull ache in my leg. I opened the metal door and was glad to have the slick, wet walls of those tunnels behind me. Vagina. What was the man upstairs up to? What was he doing there?
Vagina.
As the musty scent of those vagina walls was replaced with an altogether different smell, I braced myself.
It could have been anything organic, but for some reason your mind went directly to vagina.
Wet walls of a wet tunnel.
Yeah, like an esophagus could be that, or like a vein. No, you went straight for the genitals.
There was dirt on the ground. It looked wet, and there was grass smeared within it. I'd like to go through this door first, please. Thank you. I could hear a faint trickling sound like water. What was that?
Probably water. Oh, exit. There you go. There's the exit.
A kitchen knife covered in drying blood. Thinking about it made me sick. I didn't even want to touch it. Did I take the knife? Yes!
Of course.
I am a hoarder!
Yeah.
I slipped the knife in my boot since I had the gun in my pocket. Did I really need all this? Yes, I am a hoarder. I've told you
Where
this.
Where else are you going to put all of your fingerprints? Oh, God.
The door was locked. There was a musty smell from inside. This door isn't locked. This door is open. I wasn't sure, but I thought it was some kind of regulator. I had no idea how it worked.
Probably the buttons.
I wasn't sure what those valves were for. Did I turn it anyway?
Of course. Oh. Never mind. Two. Oh, is it number 2?
I'm going to keep turning the valves because I want to.
3.
I wasn't sure what those valves were for. Did I turn it anyway? Yes.
Of course. Turn all the valves.
Yes!
Excellent. All valves turned. Still active. What?
I don't know what that's about. So I'm just going to not touch them anymore because if it takes me too long to figure it out, I get bored. And that's why I'm terrible at puzzle games. Yeah, me and puzzle games, we don't mix. Exit.
Yeah.
So this is the exit, apparently.
Yeah, there you go. You made it out.
There was a rusty ladder sunk into the water. Sorry, my brain didn't work out that sentence very well. There was a rusty ladder sunk into the water, which smelled disgusting. I knew I couldn't climb down that. Maybe I could find a way to drain the putrid water. Oh, so that's what it's about.
Oh, okay.
Babe! Ah.
Well, I did notice that each of those valves has like the little golden handle section on it.
Yes.
So maybe you have to get all of those pointing like the same way.
They are all pointing the same way.
Oh, I thought one of them was pointing up.
Looks like I turned off the water flow in this valve.
Okay, that's good.
Okay. Let's have a look at 2. I thought I could turn this water valve to shut off its flow. Did I turn it? Yes. The valve was still active. Did I turn it again?
Yeah,
Yes.
or did that turn?
Looked like I turned off the water flow in this valve.
Yeah, because it made that like little clinking sound.
Yes.
And again. There you go.
Okay. So they're all off now. So I should be able to go down into that ladder or whatever it is. Oh. I was just checking to see if that had unlocked. Obviously not. Sire.
Yeah. Goodbye, putrid water. Hello.
Looks like the water drained out of that grate in the wall. There was a small metal key left floating in this shallow pool of rancid water. Did I take it? Well, we all know how much I enjoy rancid things.
Rancid water pool key.
I pocketed the small key, but it was so odd-shaped I had no idea what it might open.
Yeah, it was shaped like a
Like a lock, I imagine.
Maybe it's the door up top?
The safety poster had definitely seen better days. How old was that facility? I guess we'll find out.
7.
Okay, I'll climb this ladder now.
I like that it's got little Resident Evil loading videos with the door opening.
I found
Oh,
another
no.
dead body, a sewer worker. By the wounds all over his face and body, I figured
no.
he'd been stabbed repeatedly.
Ugh.
There was a keyring sticking out of the man's pocket. Did I take it? Yep.
Yeah.
I am not above stealing from
Hi,
the dead.
Mim.
Yep, we're good.
We're doing all right.
I thought about the knife I had found with some disgust as I carefully picked the keys from his pocket. I was almost worried he was going to grab me. Well, he didn't, so don't worry about it. I could smell a hint of fresh air here. I was anxious to leave, but I couldn't help wonder what that key unlocked.
Don't worry about the key. Just
I don't give a fuck. I just want to go outside.
Yeah.
The awkward weight of the gun and the knife made the climb even more arduous. Would I need that gun or that knife on my way home, or was I a fool for picking them up? I wondered what was in that locked room I passed. Should I have gone back to check? Perhaps it didn't matter. I was so eager to escape, I almost bruised my hand, forcing the latch at the top of the ladder open. As I lifted the heavy lid above me, frantically, the smell of that sewer gave way to the dank scent of pine trees.
Yes, we are both getting super excited. I think we're both just anxious to get
out
somewhere natural. We're both just so tired of the cities.
I tried the little key I had fished out of the murky puddle in the sewers. It fit, and I heaved open the rusty door. The wind was picking up a bit. The night air had become strangely chilly. Okay. Oh, I thought that was something.
Oh, it's like a leaf or something. I thought it was a bus.
It's an easy mistake to make. The old train station was quiet as a tomb. The only sound was that of the increasing wind buffeting the decrepit structure.
Ooh, buffeting.
That was an unusual sentence.
Yeah, it was. I liked it though.
Dun dun dun.
Oh no, it's a ticket booth.
The ancient ticket booth was falling apart and covered in dust and grime. Stacks of paper lined the counter, faded remains of old schedules and reports. Among the papers were newer-looking sheets covered in scribbles and illegible notes. Have we got everything? For the most part. Come to think of it, the man in that house had kept similar scribbles hidden on his bookshelf, and he had notes on the water tower outside too. I guess he could have been coming here, but why? What was he using this old station for?
I did see the chat. I just didn't want to interrupt your
No, it's okay. I'm always flicking down to look. Don't worry, I'm not reading it and then going, May, why are you not reading the chat? Brr. I'm just like, I see it, so then I respond.
Okay.
An old map encased in glass hung on the wall. It was the train routes connected to that old station. As I looked at it, it seemed familiar. Of course, the map I found in those tunnels had similar locations marked, and the notes I found on the other man's bookshelf. His notes mentioned this water tower and even this train yard. What was he doing coming back here? Guess we'll find out.
I guess he was going to stab people, right?
Everyone's got to have a hobby, babe.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying it's a bad thing that he did.
The old train was ripped open, and hanging from a shred of metal, as well as the broken fence, was a dark stained patch of cloth. It looked synthetic, like some kind of outerwear. Inside the train shell, I could see a few faint impacts, like wounds. Could they have been bullet marks? Was somebody shot there? The ground was well worn, though I couldn't really make anything out.
Hi, Mum.
I realised I was touching the gun I had found as I thought.
Oh no. Are you subconsciously wanting to shoot things?
It was getting colder out there and I had to keep moving. Okay, I will. I'm not trying to stop. I just was looking, you freak. You monstrous freak.
He is quite a monstrous freak. I mean, look at that. He doesn't even have a beard. What a monster.
You're a monster. A very handsome monster.
No, because I have a beard. I can't be a monster. Monsters don't have beards. Have you ever seen a dragon with a beard? Oh no, yeah, they have beards all the time.
Some of them do.
The Eastern dragons do.
No, that was... Okay, I have to keep going this way. I'm getting, like, confused and lost. What?
I tried to say a thing, but my voice wouldn't let me say it. Oh no. There we go. I just whispered, oh no.
Right, no, it's wait. I don't, babe. I can't remember where I came from.
I was watching chat, so I don't know where you were.
No, I went that. I think.
That arrow should be pointing you the right way, though.
Well, let's find out. Herp derp.
Ooh.
This must have been the entrance to the forest that was mentioned on that map I had seen. Whoever was poking around in those tunnels underneath that man's house had scribbled notes on this place, but I couldn't make them out. Here, the sign pointed out various campsites and walking paths within the woods. It mentioned a river and maybe a washroom, but the rest was too faded to see clearly.
Ooh.
Babe, is it you?
Is what me?
This.
The bush?
Yes.
No.
Oh.
No, I'm not a gap in a bush.
Through the fence, I could see a dilapidated outbuilding. I wondered if I could find my way around. Like through here?
Yeah, maybe that one. Maybe that highlighted gap in a bush. Oh no. What's that?
There was a fire pit there. It was still a bit warm and a few embers still burned at the bottom. 2 folding camping chairs were on the ground. One was knocked over. There are a couple of cans of beer spilled on the ground.
Foul play.
The cheap dome tent slept 2 people. I shone my flashlight inside and could see some bedrolls, 2 backpacks and a cooler. Okay, there's nothing there.
They're dead, aren't they?
Probably. A bee?
Moths?
No.
Don't book.
Don't
look. Don't look. Babe, don't look.
I'll do whatever the fuck I want. You can't tell me what to do. The grimy
fuck
sink
you,
had
wall.
a small patch in it that looked almost clean. A musty wooden plank propped up the store door. It didn't really seem useful. Did I bother to take it? Sure. I wasn't sure why, but I took the plank.
Yeah, who doesn't want mouldy, rotten wood in their pockets?
Babe, any one of these things could be useful.
Okay.
If I've learned anything from anything, it's that being a hoarder serves you well.
I mean, this does seem ever so slightly influenced, inspired by
this game is
Resident
Hoarding
Evil.
Simulator.
Yeah.
How many things can you gather?
Even though it says for every single one of them, yeah, maybe I shouldn't take that. But you're like, nope, take it, take everything.
I had finally found the exit. Once I left,
Yeah.
I knew I never wanted to return there.
Good, you never will have to. Maybe, I don't know, I forget.
Finding that campsite had been strangely unsettling. I couldn't imagine why anyone would abandon their site in the middle of the night, especially in that dark forest. I was relieved at least to finally be out of there. Even now, as I peered through the dense trees, I could see cracks of light and a bit of the land beyond. I must have been getting closer to town, but where exactly was I? I don't know, man. Let's find out. Why are you asking me? What's your beef? What's your beef stroganoff?
Yeah, what's your beef strong enough?
Bourguignon.
What?
How do you pronounce that word?
What word?
Is it bourguignon?
Oh, let's find out. Let's Google it.
As I stepped through the gates, I suddenly recognised the auto parts factory where I had worked as a machinist for all those years. The plant had closed almost 3 years ago now. Times were better then. I thought I could hear a faint rustling behind me. Maybe it was just the wind. Maybe. Not another victim. Not May again.
Not May again.
When we were on the phone to my son, May came to say hello. He was like, hello, Richard. And Richard was like, not May again.
Yeah. To be fair, that's pretty much the reaction I get when I come see anybody.
It's definitely the reaction I have when you walk into a room.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm like, oh, not May again. I took it from his uniform that he was a security guard there, just doing his job. His head had been severely beaten and his face was covered with blood. Dug into the ground was a cracked old watch. It was mine. I bought it on a trip out west with Rachel. I barely went a day without wearing it. It didn't look like it worked anymore and it was heavy. Did I take back my watch? Yes! Even though it no longer ran, I clasped the watch around my wrist.
Boeuf bourguignon, apparently.
That's the French, I guess.
Yep, bourguignon.
One of the lockers hung open. Its contents were tossed around like someone had been looking for something.
You were looking for something.
The door was
it
locked
you?
shut, and there was a little electronic box under the handle. A sign was pasted to the front that said "Danger, closed for repairs."
Oh no.
There was a large power box with 5 lights on it. Cables burst out of the box, snaking off to other parts of the factory. The metal was starting to wear, and cobwebs had collected on the corners. The box wasn't receiving power.
I like that description that the cables were bursting out of the box. That's nice.
The door was locked tight. It seemed to be connected to the power box beside it.
Oh no. Babe, I think you got another puzzle.
Every part of this plant smelled old and rotted. I would say rotten, but okay.
Yeah, rotten.
I noticed the old bulletin board on the wall. It's not wrong. It just sounds a bit strange.
Yeah. It's one of those where you just go, I'd have done something different.
Yeah, it's like...
Let me see where this Benjamin Rivers is from.
The board contained yellowed clippings of newspaper cartoons and notices. There were notes to and from the guys that worked here. One of them was to Norman, as they would say on Fireman Sam, Norman!
I don't remember watching Fireman Sam.
Mums in the chat. Or sorry, mems and moms in the chat.
Yeah.
Fireman Sam, right? Norman, that little shit Norman. And his mum would always be like, Norman!
Oh, was Norman like a little boy?
Yeah, he was like he was a proper shitbag kid who would like always be doing naughty stuff, and Fireman Sam would always have to go and rescue him because he was like,
that.
I'm gonna ride my skateboard into a fire, see how that turns out.
Yeah.
And then it's like,
I'm gonna climb up a chimney stack and then dive into the middle of it.
Oh god. Norman! And then she was having an affair with that bus driver or whatever. I don't
What? Was this...
Babe,
Are you sure this was Fireman Sam, or are you thinking like Coronation Street or something? Because that sounds like pure soap opera.
Definitely not. One of them was Norman, who was one of the older guys on the line. Are you Googling Norman now?
I was going to Google something. I forgot what it was.
Google Norman, Fireman
where's
Sam.
Benjamin Rivers from?
A power panel. Looked like it was shut off. Did I push the switch? Yes, of course I did.
Oh, he's Canadian?
Good for him. The open locker was stuffed with dirty work clothes and old boots. There was a photo of a woman taped to the inside, but it was scratched out and the face was unrecognisable.
Yeah, I think the loading is probably on your end. Oh, has that got 3 positions? Oh no. Oh, okay. Green. It works now. Oh no.
It was shut tight. There was a rusty looking card slot on the side.
Oh. Never mind. Well, they're green, so that's good.
Norman.
Maybe there's another one of those, or some more. Maybe there's 5 of them? Because there were 5 lights on that thing.
You don't say. Our old break
did you
table,
already figure it out?
The layer of dust and grime only made seeing this sting more. Well, it's not like figuring it out. It's just, I have eyes.
I didn't connect the two.
I love you.
I love you.
This was Norman's locker. The door was dented like someone had punched it. That sounds like something Norman would do, the little shit.
Yeah.
I don't remember him doing that when we worked there. Well, he doesn't always. Another panel that I hope could help me get the power back on. Did I push the switch?
Yeah. That's 3. 2 more to go.
A utility shelf crammed with mismatched tools and items. There was a claw hammer on the shelf. Yes. As I took the hammer, I noticed it wasn't as dusty as the rest of the tools on the shelf.
Oh, it's been used recently. Was it? No, man.
Another panel that I hoped could help me get the power back on. Did I push the switch?
Oh. What? Okay.
Babe, don't question it.
It's just you got to turn it off and back on again.
Yes. Have you seen the television series The IT Crowd?
I have. That genuinely is my go-to, because obviously I I don't work in IT at my work. I
You
work
might
in
as
HR.
well.
But because I do spreadsheets, everyone comes to me for tech issues. My first response is always, have you tried just closing it down and opening it again? Or effectively, have you tried turning it off and back on again?
This was my locker, there in the factory. It stank of booze.
What?
There was a picture of Rachel on the inside. It looked like it had been torn up. I thought I had taken that picture home when the factory closed. Obviously not. There was a mess of empty booze bottles. I wondered if that man in the house had something to do with this. He sure had a lot of alcohol in his place. You're a smooth operator.
Thank you.
Are you eating your beard?
Yeah. Every
What
so
a
often
delicious
I like
thing to do.
just stuffing my beard into my mouth.
The power box looked like it was running again. With the power box working again, the door was unlocked. Did I go through? Yes, of course I did. I pushed the handle and stepped through the door. What a fucking stupid question.
I worked so hard to get this door open. I'm just going to leave it.
A rack of flashlights hung on the wall. One of them was missing.
No. Is it the one that you've got?
I probably think so, maybe. The stale scent of the old factory gave way to the brisk odour of pine trees and dirt.
Ooh.
I was back outside, though I wasn't sure if that was better or worse.
It's better.
The path beyond was dark, and my flashlight barely illuminated anything. I wondered if it had really been taken from the factory. If so, how did I get it? That poor guard, he was probably just doing his job. Maybe he knew what was going on in that boarded-up room. If he did, he wouldn't be telling that tale to anybody. I hoped the path led back into town. I needed to find some help.
Yeah, there's like people killing around here.
A rusty old truck had careened off the road and into the guardrail. Its front was crushed and its windows had all smashed. Judging by the rust, it had been there for a while. Bee?
Bee? Was there a bee? Oh.
I know it says 62, but it looked like it said B.
Oh yeah, it does say 62. I thought it said B2. I was like, oh, you're in the basement too?
Sounded like it was going to start raining again.
Oh, I just did that voice thing again. Oh no.
I had entered Norman's place. This was the back of the store that he ran. It was oddly quiet, except for the faint sound of a television.
What television? I don't hear anything.
The entrance to the front of the store was locked from the inside. Looked like if I couldn't just pop it open, it needed a key. There was a bit of blood on the keyhole.
Oh no. Blood. Oh no, there's a lot of blood there. Why are you in this room? This is where the lot of blood is.
TV still flickered some indecipherable channel.
Aliens. Oh god,
oh, no.
there's a dead person.
I couldn't believe what I was seeing.
Oh shit.
Norman, my co-worker and one of the few friends I had in this town, lay dead beside his armchair.
Norman!
His face and shirt were covered in blood. It looked like he'd been shot trying to get up. His eyes were still wide with shock.
You were so young.
Norman, you deserve better than this. Did I close his eyes? Yes, I did. I wasn't sure if I wanted to give him peace or if I just couldn't stand to think any more about what was going on. Quickly, I closed Norman's eyes. I guess this was Norman's kitchen table. He kept it clean enough, but there were water rings from 2 cups still there in the wood.
Oh.
The kitchen trash bin smelled fresh. I didn't dig through that mess, did I? Yes. I found a hairpin amongst the rotting food and trash and pocketed it. Maybe I didn't want to pocket that.
Yeah, maybe I wanted
Maybe that was one of the few things I didn't want.
Maybe I wanted the old chicken
I only
skins.
don't want it because it made me take it.
Yeah.
If it had asked me, I would have been like, yep. Of course I want a hairpin.
Now you would think that you would use that to like bust open a lock or something, but that door said that you can't just pop it open, as it says.
Despite the shock of already finding Norman in that state, seeing this turned my stomach just as much. It was one of Rachel's old floor coats. What was it doing there? Was she okay?
Rachel?
Probably not.
Isn't
Inside
Rachel
the
your
cabinet was
girlfriend?
a small... Captain cabinets, trapped in cabinets. Can I get out? Will it get out?
Of course he will.
Inside the cabinet was a small but impressive collection of hunting rifles, shotguns, and even a few items I didn't think were legal here. One of the slots on the rack was empty. The gun I had found seemed to match the others there. If the handgun was Norman's, what the hell was he doing with it? The gun would fit there. Did I place it back in the cabinet? Yes. I carefully pushed the piece back in place and felt a great burden lifted.
Ooh, nice. Yeah, you got a bleep bloop.
Good for me. Okay, well, I've looked everywhere there. I used the hairpin to pick the lock. The hairpin snapped in half, so I threw it away.
Oh, so you can just pop it open.
The general store was small, but it was clean. It had the usual things: postcards, snacks, magazines, and canned goods. I never went there much. Rachel usually stopped by after work if we needed anything.
I bet she did.
The register was mostly empty, and a fat stack of travel magazines sat beside it.
Babe, I think Rachel was cheating on you.
I think so too. The icebox seemed to have been unplugged. It must have been off for a while. Most of its contents were half melted. There were various postcards from the area, especially from the tourist traps. One of the postcards showed an old black and white photo of the water tower. It looked to be in much better shape then.
Ooh, you can point up.
Oh,
you can like party. Doonts, 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 doom.
I'm like Freddie Mercury. Norman was dead, but I had no idea why. Was he involved in all this somehow, or was he just another victim? That gun I had found only seemed to complicate matters. It was such a relief to finally be rid of it. Home wasn't far off now. Even though the rain was relentless, I had to keep going. It was locked. This wasn't the right gate.
Next house? This house? Yeah,
Fine.
This house.
The neighbourhood's local postbox, a letter was sticking out as if someone hadn't pushed it all the way in.
Oh.
I knew it wasn't right, but did I look at the letter? Yes. There was no return address, but the envelope was addressed to Norman.
Oh.
Carefully, I tore it open and looked at the letter inside. It read, "Stay away, she's mine." That was it. No signature, no other information.
Oh, shit. Oh, yeah, if you need to sleep, just go ahead and sleep. That's fine. It's Mum.
Oh, okay. I had entered our backyard. The rain gave me a terrible sense of foreboding, and it chilled me through my clothes.
Foreboding.
I was expectant, but also afraid.
I like that word. Foreboding.
I like you. Because
like
you
you
are
too.
handsome.
And I'm forbidding.
I held my breath as I approached our back door. I was terrified to step inside.
Oh no, babes, there's somebody in your house.
The house was painfully quiet. The only sound was my own breathing, ragged and strained. I flicked the light switch by the door. The power was off. I remembered having breakfast here on this very table. Was that yesterday or sometime before? The door to the basement, it was locked. Where had I put the damned key? The front door was locked from inside. I couldn't go out, though I needed to see if Rachel was here. The door was stuck shut. There was an old-fashioned keyhole underneath the handle. Our television, I had purchased it before I knew I was going to lose my job. I felt pretty guilty about it afterward, but by then it was too late.
He lost his job.
Mm.
That sucks.
Happens, man.
Yeah.
The books there were half mine, half Rachel's. Hey, now that I look more closely, it looked like the man in that house had some of the same books as I did. There was a suitcase on the bed. It was Rachel's. I remembered it from that trip we took out west. Did I open the suitcase? Yes. I wasn't sure what to make of the suitcase's contents. Inside were a few days' worth of clothes, some toiletries, and a train ticket. Where was she planning to go?
Bitch. She was leaving. The fuck? Oh shit.
Our hallway mirror had been smashed, its pieces scattered around the floor. Our sink, which needed to be replaced, one of the taps always stuck, but I hadn't got around to fixing it yet. We were lucky enough to get a house with one of those wonderful old claw-footed bathtubs. My laptop had been left on and only a tiny bit of power left. On the screen was a website about the old water tower. There was a key in the top drawer of my desk. Did I take it? Yes, I pocketed the key. I unlocked the basement door.
The basement. Babe, that's where murderings happen.
Sometimes. There were old Christmas decorations in the box. The garbage bags were stuffed with old paint cans and supplies. There was a dirty old key here. Did I take the key? Yes, I took the small key and tried to remember what I unlocked. There were old clothes, tools, and other things we obviously hadn't thrown out yet.
Oh shit.
I had put up this divider wall last summer so we could create a separate room in the basement. I hadn't finished it yet, so the door was stuck and the drywall was poorly installed. I might have been able to break through if I found something heavy enough.
Ooh,
I've
your
got
head?
like a plank of wood and a fucking knife. You could just use those things.
Or a head.
Or you.
Put a bucket on your head and then just run it straight into the wall.
The grimy key I had found in the basement door unlocked this door. It looked like the room had been tossed around. The furniture was a mess. Did somebody break in here?
Oh shit.
There was an old crowbar on the floor. Did I need to take the crowbar? Yes. I lifted the heavy crowbar. I appreciated its weight.
Heavy.
You're heavy.
Thanks, babe.
Babe, I don't know why you're saying that like you're like 3 stone or something.
No, I know I'm heavy.
You're a heavy boy.
Yeah, I am a hefty boy.
Did I break through the wall with the crowbar? Yes. With a heave, I swung the crowbar at the wall. I smashed a hole large enough to step through.
Ooh.
As I stepped through the broken wall, my breath caught in my throat.
Oh shit.
This was it. Was Rachel down there? Was she okay?
Oh shit. Babe, don't look.
I'll try not to.
This room's enormous.
A filthy looking pile of rags had been dumped in the corner. The stench of them was awful as made my eyes water. I was terrified to even touch the pile, to see what lay within, but I knew I had to. I had come this far. After all this searching, after all I had seen, when I looked within the rags, did I finally find my Rachel?
That's up to you, babe.
What? Yes. Oh no. My hands trembled as I pulled back of the layers of cloth. There at the centre, under all the dirt and mess, was my beloved, my Rachel. Her arms were bruised all over and slashed repeatedly. Her clothes were ripped and torn, and even through all that sickening blood, it was obvious she had been stabbed to death. The knife I had carried all this way suddenly seemed like a poison. What had happened, Rachel? Who did this to you? I thought about all I had seen and wondered if any of this could help me figure out who had done this. And when I couldn't stay there any longer, I stepped away on shaky legs and made my way back up the stairs. Reluctantly, exhausted from my journey, I could no longer resist the urge to close my eyes.
So we just slept.
Snooze lose.
Oh. Well done, you got another bleep bloop.
Maybe I would use some of Rachel's travel books and find some place to go. This was the old photo of that other man and his wife, I assumed. I found it in that house. I recalled those faded remains I had found deep underneath his house. What had he done there? Well, what did I think? Was that man involved in this whole mess somehow? Sure. Definitely. Those tunnels, the odd tools in his house, and the remains of his wife. He wasn't innocent, that's for sure.
Yeah. It was definitely him. That's what happened. He broke into your house and he stabbed Rachel.
The reflection in that grimy glass was only a shadow, a whisper. Sorry, I've now got to go back round the house because I don't know what I've got to do next.
Yeah. You're going back down to the basement.
I can do.
Might as well give it a try. Ooh, the door's open now.
What door?
Oh no, sorry, that's the basement door, isn't it?
I couldn't go back down, not until I'd gone over everything. I needed to make sure I was perfectly clear.
Oh, okay, so you're basically piecing together what happened. Ugh, boring. Unless you get the passcode.
I need to find it.
Then maybe exciting.
It was the letter I had taken from the postbox. Who had it out for Norman? Who sent in that letter? It must have been someone from the neighbourhood, or at least somebody wanted it to look that way. I wasn't sure what to think. Did Norman, did he murder Rachel? I don't think he did.
Well, because Norman's dead now, isn't he?
Yeah.
So...
But I don't think he murdered Rachel.
No. I think somebody else murdered Rachel. And
no way. Norman had ended up dead himself. Whoever sent that threatening letter must have got to him. But who the hell was that? I think it was you, friend. From now on, I'd have no one to get angry with me for stupid things like buying this TV. Yeah, man. That sucks. I don't know where to go. Don't know why I'm going back in here as if that's going to...
It's safe, isn't it? Yeah. Is there anything down the floor? Oh, yeah. You can go back to the basement. I don't know what that said.
I had to have one last look.
Oh, okay.
If I was guilty, I could take this to a warm, safe place and do something about it. Did I pick up the knife? Yes. I took the knife and kept it firmly in my hand. I needed to put an end to the situation one way or another. One way or another. Okay. Well,
right. Not in there, though. Somewhere else. Elsewhere.
Fine. Okay. Well... I knew I needed to escape that nightmare, but what about the knife I still carried? I wondered, even if I left, would it really be over? So did I leave that house forever? Sure.
Okay.
Living in this town hadn't been easy. The plants had helped in some way to stay grounded. It kept me in line, gave me something to do, and helped me get away from my past. When the factory closed, everything changed. I guess that was when I had started sleepwalking, disappearing for hours at a time. I had MRIs and piles of doctors' reports, but nothing seemed to help, not even drinking. But I swear I had tried to give it up. I know it. The sleepwalking never really went away, though. But I know Rachel had tried. I know she had tried to be there for me, even when everything was falling apart. This night had unearthed terrible truths, but I knew it was a final act of a long-standing horror I'd been living. Waking up in that house tonight was the final cruelty. I wish I had remained unconscious in that room forever. It was obvious to me that the man I had found in that house had something to do with all this. Could he have killed Rachel? It started to seem that there were too many things I had seen to think otherwise. And what was hidden within those sewers I had found? The tunnels to the man's house obviously led there, but was there something I missed? The tangled mess of that horrible forest was an experience I'd never want to repeat, but going from that forest to the old plant was hardly a relief. The memories of that place. After the factory, I thought I might find some solace if I could just get to Norman's store, but all I had found were more horrors and more questions. Now that I really consider it, that's when I should have seen it coming. Damn, Norman, how did you get mixed up in all this? I know you weren't a perfect man, none of us are, but you didn't deserve this. Maybe whoever had done you in was responsible for the other murders that happened in that town. At the very least, I was convinced you and Rachel were killed by the same person. I sincerely hoped you would find some peace, my friend. I knew I never would. When I had marched through the rain towards home, I desperately clung to the hope that this would end. And I guess in a way it did, but how could I have known how hopeless it all was? I had started to feel as disoriented as when I sleepwalked, to think of it now. I guess I should have known from the terrible silence that greeted me when I first stepped into our house and stood there in the kitchen. There was no sound of television, radio, even the air was still. But seeing Rachel there, lying ruined and discarded in the basement, that was a horror I could never have imagined. I didn't know if I'd ever find the answers I craved, but I knew that somehow that other man I had found was responsible for this. If not directly, he must have had a hand in Rachel's death. So what was I doing in that damned house of his? Had I found out? Had I killed him? My damned condition made it difficult to know. Memories and time frames were always a mess, and I could never be sure. Knowing that man was dead, though, was cold comfort. My wife was gone, and no matter what happened to me now, I was lost forever. As I swung open the door and stepped out into the grass, I caught the scent of wet grass and fog. Rachel, my beautiful wife. Just the thought of her again, cold and inert, shook me from head to toe. What would I do now? Who could I turn to? It would only be a matter of time before the police got involved, before the neighbours knew. The front lawn was soft and giving beneath my feet, and I couldn't shake the urge that I shouldn't stand there, but rather that I should run. Okay then, well...
There you go.
The end?
Yeah, that was a bit abrupt.
We
got it done a lot faster than an hour and a half.
Yes, that's because I don't fuck about.
Yeah, you were really fucking gunning for everything.
Ted the Trumpet.
You did miss a few places though.
So I did, but that's because I was just like, get through it.
Yeah. Maybe that would have filled it out to an hour and a half.
Yes. Also, we know what happened. We know what the story is.
Yeah.
His wife was clearly smooching booties with... That's a terrible dedication.
Yeah.
His wife...
I'm not sure.
That's
Nancy
like me and you.
That.
If you ever leave me, I'll burn you. I'll burn the fucking house down.
I'll cut your legs off and I'll eat them and then I'll burn everything down. So please don't leave me.
I'll go on a rampage, killing everybody and then myself.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, I guess I won't leave you then. Okay, so we've got a half an hour left. So I guess I can start playing something else.
You can do whatever you want, babe. Look how handsome you are.
So anybody who is still here, we're going to stop the stream for a moment. Stay on.
Yeah, stay here.
Stay here, and we'll be back in about
3 seconds.
Yeah, a minute or so.
4 minutes.
Right. So
37 seconds.
Okay. See you soon.
3 minutes and 10 seconds.
See you soon.
Bye. Bye.